So now we move into another stage of development, and that is middle childhood. Middle childhood is basically the period between early childhood and early adolescence. So you can think of it as the elementary school years. This is supposed to be a period that is the healthiest out of the whole entire lifespan because school age children are kind of protected um, from, let's say, the perspective of nature and nurture. Genetic disease is going to be something that would threaten children during infancy mostly. And let's say disease, as far as infectious disease, is kind of curbed by immunization. So a child who enters kindergarten has pretty much completed their immunizations, and the next time they would need to get a booster shot is probably around middle school. So you've got the immunization taking care of the infectious diseases. And then, of course, as far as nurture, those accidents or overdosing or getting drunk and all things that they have to worry about maybe later in life during adolescence. So you don't have that to worry about during middle childhood. Another very important milestone, if you guys remember in elementary school, is your oral health. Um, Pretty much you lose your first tooth during this period of development, and by the time you're about 11 or 12, between 6 and 12, you have pretty much replaced the whole set of teeth by a permanent set. Most children in the United States have the blessing of having access to dental care, and about 75% of them were found to have seen a dentist and have been following up with preventative care and good hygiene. Middle childhood is also a time when children have, of course, mastered the motor skills, the gross motor skills, and engage in a lot of socialization and active play. Active play is healthy at every part of life, but during this stage of development, it's actually extra healthy because of the strong connection between body movement and intellectual function. So, children who engage in physical activity are known to have less depression, less obesity, improve in their academic achievement, problem solving abilities. When you work and play with other children, you have to negotiate, you have to figure out who is starting, who's not, taking turns, agreeing to do this as a rule or not. All of these little negotiations are improvements in your ability to problem solve. It also teaches a lot of respect and interaction with teammates that you might have, issues with or problems or um, do not really get along with. So it kind of helps you curb that impulse of not accepting a particular rule. So everybody has to abide by the rules because the punishment is not that you're going to tattle to an adult, but rather you're going to exclude that person from the game. So social exclusion becomes the ultimate penalty. And since children during this stage do not like it, they will most probably comply. The problem is with active play and neighborhood games, they are becoming an endangered species because of modern life and the overtaking of free play in the life of our children. We have a lot of contributing factors to this. Technology is a big culprit in this because children are now spending a lot of screen time. Um, and because it, the inaccessibility to just going outside and playing with the in outside your house and playing in the neighborhood, with other children. Chances are, if you want to engage in any type of active play, you either have to go with your parents to a park or be involved or enrolled in some sort of a sports activity after school and so forth. So that free type of active play and neighborhood games is not becoming available as much for children. The other place that we look for when we talk about active play is within the school system, and unfortunately, that is also becoming endangered because of the high demand on certain curricular achievements, and teachers have kind of resorted to pushing exercise or PE or recess time um, away from children instead of increasing the time. It's becoming a time for increasing teaching instead of using that as a stepping stone to helping children better improve in their educational abilities. So when I used to sub at my children's elementary school, I would go out during recess time or during little breaks that they have, and see a bunch of children sitting on the benches with their lunches or with their snacks. And they would have some sort of a homework that they didn't finish or classwork that they didn't get to complete. And these are usually the children that are in most need of exercise and actually getting up and moving their body in order for them to come back to class and pay attention and focus. So, in a way, we were adding to the problem instead of solving the problem.